the mirror tool. You can get that in your main toolbar. Hold your left mouse button down on these tools right here and get to the mirror tool. Or you could also go to your construction toolbar, hold your left mouse button down, and grab the mirror tool here. Now in your mirror tool, you have a few different options that you can mirror about. You have vertical, horizontal, and line. We'll do horizontal first. You do have the option that says about element center, which we're not going to talk about for this example, but you do have the option also to make a copy, which we're going to go ahead and do. First thing that you need to identify is your element or elements that you want to mirror. And for this example here, we're going to take these signs that are out here and we're going to mirror them to the other side of the road. So I'll just go back to my element selection tool, which you can grab it here or here, and I'll set my method to plus, and I'll leave my method set to individual, my mode set to plus, which is the add. And I'll go ahead and add these three. Now if I go back to my mirror tool, since I have them selected, I'm going to make a copy of it. Now we just identify where we want to mirror it about. And since these are our lanes here, we want to mirror it to the other side. I'll just use this right here as my point that I want to mirror it about. Left click to drop it off, right click to reset it, and we're finished. Of course, we still have three items that are still selected, so we need to go back to our element selection tool. I can click it here, and I'll go ahead and select my clear button to clear out my selection set so there's nothing selected. Now another situation is our mirror vertical, which if I go back to my mirror tool again and I change my method from mirror about horizontal to mirror about vertical, first thing I'll do is I'll identify the element or elements that I want to mirror, and since this right here is a complex chain or a line string, I can just simply select this line. Now it's going to say accept or reject. Basically, where do you want to mirror it about? And since this is our center line of our typical section here, I can identify anywhere on that line, that vertical line that's out here. Or I could also snap to the endpoint of that shape that I have, or that line string that I have out there also. It's kind of either or. Snap to it, left click to drop it off. It's going to want to mirror it again. So if you're finished with it, just right click to reset it, and you mirrored it vertical around that vertical line that's out there. Scroll over to the other one here. The last one in your mirror tool that you can utilize is the line method. So if you have a line out there, instead of mirroring it horizontal or vertical, you want to mirror it about a line that's out there, you can do that also. First thing that you need to do is identify your shape or your element that you want to mirror. We'll just use this triangle as our example. Next thing that you need to do is enter the first point on the mirror line. It can either be a line that's out there, or you could just identify two points that are out there. If you had an endpoint of a line here and maybe an endpoint of a line here, you could do it to those points also. It doesn't have to necessarily be a line. You're just identifying 2 points to mirror that particular shape around. But for our example here, we're going to go ahead and use this line here. So I'll snap to my endpoint of my line here. Now you'll see kind of a construction line of your second point of the mirror line. Like I said, it could just be an arbitrary point out here, or I could snap to maybe an endpoint here. But for this example here, I'm going to use this line as kind of my base for this mirror about line. So I'll snap to the endpoint right here, and now you've mirrored that particular shape about those 2 endpoints of that particular line that's out there.